Berkeley Airport. Automated weather observation 1057 Zulu. Weather wind 060 at 5. Visibility 10. Ceiling 400. Overcast. Temperature 24 Celsius. 2.24. Altimeter 3010.
started, two groups we need to thank. First of all, Stacy for letting us have the meeting here again.
Thank you.
She is a stalwart supporter of the Breakfast Club, come rain or shine. And we've always had a good group of people here. And considering the weather, we still have a good group of people here. How many people are based here that are here? Good. And they're based here too. They're messing with the shroud cover. How many people? I know we have one fly-in, and I think you're the sole fly-in. The other group is the VFW group that cooked our breakfast for us. They did a wonderful job. Thank you guys and girls. All right. How many people do we have here today who have never been to a breakfast club before? Never. Are you local?
No.
Excellent. Well, you are now lifetime members. This group started in Orangeburg in 1938. A gentleman by the name of Thomas Summers, a local businessman, had an Urku. And he and his daughter would get together early on Sunday morning and fly to a different airport in the state for breakfast before church, which is why we have it on Sunday. And before long, some of his friends who were also flyers started calling him on Saturday night and said, "Tom, where are you going tomorrow? We'll meet you there." And back then, things were a little bit more free-form and loose, and they could meet at places we can't dream of meeting. They had, in 1947, they met in Lamar, downtown. They landed on Railroad Avenue downtown and turned onto Main Street. And we have pictures to support this. And they would back their airplanes up against the storefronts on Main Street, go into the restaurant, have breakfast, come out, taxi down to Railroad Avenue, and take right back off. One of my favorite pictures is a V-tail 1947 V-tail Bonanza at the filling station on Main Street getting gas. But that is pretty much what's been going on since 1938. We are, if not the oldest, one of the oldest fly-in groups in the country. So you are not only lifetime members of the South Carolina Breakfast Club, you're part of one of the oldest fly-in groups in the country. So thank you very much for coming and enjoy your lifetime membership. item on the agenda is the ball. Now, the ball was started in 1938 by Mr. Summers, and it was awarded to the pilot who attended the Breakfast Club who made the worst landing. And the way it originally started out is the pilot who made the worst landing had to sign the ball and take it home with him and bring it back to the next meeting. But between 1938 and 1946, they lost so many balls because the pilots wouldn't come back that the president just kept the ball with him. And our last president, Gerald Ballard, he was our president for 30 plus years. That ball that he had went through 4 airplane wrecks with it. He flipped the Baron upside down with it. He kept it in what was left of the bowling bag. And if you're ever curious, when you stop into Orangeburg, his ball and that bowling bag are in the display case in the FBO's Orangeburg. That week in Florence, the crew of the C-17 signed it because they hold the record for the heaviest airplane ever coming in to a Breakfast Club. Their gross weight was 585,000 pounds. And one of the neatest things about it, they came in, they taxied up a taxiway, but to get out, they backed that airplane down the taxiway until they passed one of the offside taxiways and then turned right and taxied down to the runway. They made a combat approach and landing coming in. And if you can imagine, they flew over the airport, upwind, did a military break, configured in the turn, touched down, and were stopped in 2,000 feet. Now, how long was your run?
Well, 5,000.
All right. So he was on the ground and stopped in less than half of this runway with that big old airplane. Now, he was empty, but theoretically, you're still at gross, you'll still be able to get down and stop at about 2,000 or 2,500 feet. That's amazing for a big thing like that. I think today, I'm going to get Michael to sign it because he was the only person to fly in today. So he topped us all.
Flight of one.
Flight of one. Thank you, sir. So it's more of a commemorative thing now, but it's all done to promote aviation safety, young people in aviation, and it's all about fun. If you're not having fun doing what you're doing, it's time to find something else to do. Just one, don't look. There you go. Now hand it to me.
Here you go.
Thank you. No, just one. All right. First number is 0.
Yeah, he will. Okay, he's reading from this side over.
Second number is a 1. Almost. Third number is a 3. Curb your enthusiasm. Fourth number is an 8. Fifth number is a 3. Uh-oh. Getting close. Last number is a 9.
Yeah, there you go.